Hello, folks. How are you doing? Hopefully, he doesn't start going nutsos. Maybe I should give him some food so he won't go nutsos. Mm, I know I had that container. Just 1 second. Ouch. Uh, where did I put that container? Aha! Now, will you be quiet if mommy feeds you a whole bunch of food? Hmm? Okay, you be good boy and be quiet. No, don't start screaming. I had to bring the bird back in, so we shall see how that goes. Now that just made it worse. Hang on. I don't want to look at you. You're being mean. Yeah. He's been good all morning. Now he's going to start raising Cain because I'm on the phone, right? I'm on the computer. Sorry, guys. One of these days, I'll have that bar cleaned off, and I'll have my little chair over there, and I'll be able to talk to y'all and have a good old conversation without worrying about moving the camera. And I didn't even get myself a drink. Well, I guess we'll have to walk over here and get us a drink, huh? And I gotta wash that off because, well, it's got beet juice on it. I spilt beet juice in there. One thing and another, right? I'll be so glad when I get my house back. Be able to put all these plants outside and and um enjoy a clean house without a bird carrying on. It's not wanting to come out of there, is it? The other day, I'm like, I got a soda out of the thing, and I said, "Man, that's dirty." I had to wash it, right? And I normally wash them off anyways, but I had to wash this one. Was really good. And I'm like, what would have caused all this dirt and stuff on there? And then I remembered, oh, that's right, Catherine. You put the 24 pack in the back of the truck with dirt and everything else under the sun. So I'm sure it got blowed around and filled up, right? Crazy, huh? Mm. Anyways, so I am pricing fencing and stuff. Oh my goodness gracious, it's going to cost me a fortune to put a fence. But I have to. Not just for the critters that I may get, but the critters that I already have. No, what I did with my pencil. Ah, there it is. Thank you, Lord. I hope I am live. It says I'm live. Everybody must be busy today. So, let's see. What else is going on? Okay, so I had the incidences with the critters on what day was that? I think that was on Friday, maybe. Yep, Friday morning. And so I went ahead and got something for 10 so that I could take care of that little problem. And haven't seen him since. Or them, I should say. I seen one out front and one out back. That one that I seen out back could not have been that beautiful one that I seen out front that I thought was a fox. So, and then, it dawned on me. I didn't actually see the incident. Well, it only showed one incident. I forget how much time had lapsed. I think he got the one bird over here. Hey, Patty. It's Monday morning and I'm trying to get my act together. Sorry about your chickens. We have been there. Yeah, I'm just... I took it for granted that I've been here 6 months and I haven't seen anything except for a couple of dogs, I thought. But I believe, thinking back, I didn't get a good look at those animals. They may have been not dogs. They might have been coyotes also. So, hey, Christy. Yeah. And I have never seen a coyote up front, up close and personal. And I could not believe that the coyotes, I thought coyotes were afraid of people. Oh, I'm sorry. It's probably because I was moving around. I'll try not to move around the computer. Teresa's talking to me. I I can't answer her now because she's talking. But so I finally finished painting the garden fence posts. And for some reason, I had it in my mind that I had to have 7-foot posts. So I spent a lot of money that I didn't have to spend on 7-foot posts, which I could get 6-foot posts and pay $2 less. I'm like, gee whiz, Catherine. Anyways, Patty, I'm telling you something. That coyote literally sat there and stared like, I'm gonna get you, woman. You can't see me, but I can see you. I'm gonna get you. I never moved a muscle and just stared me down. The only muscle it moved was his head to, put that fierce look, which, is in a dog is kind of, I don't know why I'm not as afraid of dogs as I am something. And I'm really not afraid of these guys. I walked away like a dummy. I got done putting that video together and I said, Catherine Marie, you're an idiot. That dog could have attacked you. That coyote could have attacked you. And the other one was out front. It could have came around and got you from behind. So, but how am I going to walk around with 410? You know what I'm saying? How am I going to walk around with that? So I'm probably going to get something smaller for the hand, if you guys know what I mean. Hey Teresa, I'm sorry I didn't look at your message because I'm online. On live, I mean. So they're trying to tell me I need 600 feet, and I can't see how in the world I'd be 600 feet for that little bit of yard. Well, I'm going to go out and measure it again. 2, 3. I'd say 500 feet at the most. Oh, anyways. Yeah, Christy, that's scary too because and this is, here I am. Y'all heard me talk about Wilma's sister Deborah, right? She was a night owl and she would go outside and she'd smoke cigarettes and sit out there and just, talk on the phone and do her thing outside underneath the pole. Well, it's not a pole barn. It's like a garage thing. It's just like a open tent thingy, but it's made out of metal. I don't know what it's called. Garage carport. It's a carport, I think they call them. Anyways, she'd go out there and then we got on her case because she would go out into the yard to see if she could see it. And I'm like, they can attack you. There's a whole pack out there at Wilma's and they're constantly picking off her chickens, They have to keep their chickens up now. They can't run the yard. They have a bunch of male chickens, but roosters that they let loose. But it's like, it's crazy. You know, I mean, she's been close enough that she's seen the coyote literally. The duck went up in the air and the coyote jumped up at least 5, 6 feet and grabbed that duck and pulled it down and took off with it. You can't type right today. Am I buffering still, guys? I'm trying to hold still. So that craziness was going on Friday. And then trying to think. How did I somehow I was talking to oh, I was telling them what happened and everything. Maybe it was Thursday. Why did I think it was Friday? This is weird. My days are so mixed up. Had to happen. I don't know how I seen John and Jen on Thursday. Oh, I know what it was. Friday morning. And I can't wait. We had a mama coyote come and train her pups to come. They are sneaky. Came right up to the house. Wow. I was going through the woods hunting my dog, and 6 or 7 came up on me. I yelled, "In Jesus' name, you will not hurt me or my dog." They turned and walked back to the woods. Wow. Hello, Barb. How are you today? So this is how I ended up telling John and Jen. My brain, it's been a crazy few days. My brain ain't working that great. So Friday morning, okay, Thursday evening, I got a text from John saying, how much fat do you want? I said, as much as you want to give me. Anything you don't want, I will take. Cold at 12 above. Wow. 12 degrees is cold. It's not that here. It's let's see. 40 degrees right here. And it was I think it was 28 this morning. So he called me and asked me, or texted me and asked me how much fat I wanted. He said, be ready because I'm going to call. I'll let you know in the morning. I said, okay. So that was Thursday. And so they let me know to come on over Friday morning. And I went over there and I got some fat. And then I ran some errands and then came back home. And then they met with me, or he was going to go ahead and get me one, but he wanted to make sure that I liked what I was getting. So we went up, looked at 22, a couple of 22s, and I settled with the 410 because it was lighter, shorter, and more easier to move around. Because I don't have any arm strength anymore. So I brought. We were going to get it that day, but they couldn't do it that day. We had to come back on Saturday morning. So we went on home. Well, then we realized that we were supposed to be at church Saturday morning. So Jen and I went on to church, and then we went on over there. I felt so bad for him. He did not feel good Saturday afternoon to go get that. But we got it. And then they came over. They come over Saturday afternoon, and we walked the yard and everything after they went over there. And I think it was Saturday afternoon they came over. And then they came over again Sunday, yesterday, and we were supposed to be putting posts in, but he didn't realize I had 7-foot posts. He thought I had 6-foot posts. So it was a little bit crazy. But now I've got to buy a whole bunch of posts and a whole bunch of fencing. Where was I at? There was. Hey, Linda, how are you doing, honey? We lost several dogs to packs of coyotes through the years. Yep. And I'm afraid to let Chester out running around with me because he's liable to run off trying to get one and get hurt in the process because they're vicious, and he's never been in a fight ever. Not saying that he couldn't hold his own, but he's never been in a fight. So let's see. Hi, Christy. Are you back at home? Brr, Barb. I just can't stand the cold anymore. It's cold here too, and had a few light flurries this morning. Oh, it's not cold, and it's not. It's cold. It was cold here. It'd be It will be 25 in the morning, but I don't. We're not going to get any snow over it. I was finally able to put my blue tarp and fold it up. Finally got it dry enough to fold it up. I just detest opening a tarp and finding it wet. It just absolutely goes right straight through me. When you stay home most of the time, my days get mixed up too. Yep, I know that feeling. So true, Patty. I can't find where I said hi. Cold, sunny, and snow flurries in western Kentucky. Wow. 24 here right now. I'm on live. I don't know why I didn't. The first thing I see you saying was you've lost several dogs. So it must not have came through. Sorry, Linda. YouTube's getting weirder and weirder, but I still like coming on here with y'all. I still like having a channel and doing this. It's really sad because we're losing so many channels that are really big channels and channels that are just taking breaks and stuff like that. It's kind of strange, but yet it's good. They need to be able to refresh their selves. I probably didn't push the right button. That would be me. My connection is in and out. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to move. The views are way down for most channels. Yes. And you know, my because I watch it on the big screen TV now, it doesn't send me a whole lot of people. It only sends me the people that I pull up and watch sometimes. And sometimes it doesn't even send the people that I watch sometimes. And then it'll send me some weird channels that I never heard of before. And I don't want to be clicking on something I don't know and getting more involved in others. You know, I really enjoy watching some of the kids grow up. I followed Justin Rhodes and uh, um, Roots and Refuge and Wholesome Roots and um, uh, I even throw in a little. I stopped watching Danny and Wanda a long time ago, but I've thrown a couple of their videos in lately too that I thought might be interesting. But and I watched the Arms family. I watched their children grow up. It's neat to watch people's children grow up and see some real struggles in some people's lives and be able to pray for them and yet see some really cool um, changes from kids going from little to adult and um, how beautiful it is. It just really is neat to see some good, wholesome Christian families grow up. Not all of the stuff I watch is all is not they're not all Christians. I imagine because I do watch fishing and hunting, and I love Blue Gabe. I love Tug Trash, and now that I'm not able to go fishing and stuff like that because I live up here now, I haven't found me a hole yet that I can go fishing in. I um I enjoy watching them go fishing, so it is what it is. Let's see, what have I missed? I think there's so much going on in the world. A lot of people are watching news more. Not me. I couldn't even tell you what's going on. I don't want to know. I'm not watching as much YouTube. There's a lot of evil, crazy people out there, if you know what I mean. Yep. LOL. Those kids growing up is also a reminder I'm getting old. That's funny. Yeah, I have a problem watching arrogant men who think their word is the only way. Yeah, me too. Trauma drives me away from many channels. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. The the channels I like to watch is with no drama. There's a couple of channels that I used to watch religiously, but because of their negativity and their conspiracy theories, I've backed off because hey, listen, there is no way we can control what's going on in the world. We're only little peons. The way we control our world is what's going to matter. The more we put Christ first and try to live our lives in a way that will help others and teach more people about Christ, the better off this world will be. But God tells us how bad it's going to get. So there's just that sad point where you have to say, okay, do I run myself crazy trying to prep and trying to do all this stuff and never knowing when it's going to come? Or do I give myself some leadway and say, okay, as long as I have a year's worth of food, that should suffice me because I'll be able to grow and hunt things in the future. That's where I'm at right now. I don't want a 5-year supply of turnip greens. You know what I'm saying? I just want to eat and have some canned for when they're not growing and then grow more the next year. And that's the way I want to live my life. And what can I really say? And be able to have the kiddies up here whenever I can. Yeah, I have a problem watching. Oh, I read that. Sadly, I figure if something important is going on, I'll hear about it from friends. I can't hardly even watch the news anymore. That's me too, Linda. I tell Wilma and them guys, I don't want to hear none of the crap about TV unless it pertains to us right here. I don't want to know what the world's going through. I try to stay off of Facebook for the most part. I will go on there and look at certain people. I'm so sorry. I've had so much gas this week, it's killing me. Probably the Dr. Pepper. I am on the second ferment of the kombucha that I made, that I had in the refrigerator, that I made from the stuff that I bought from Azure Standard, and I can't wait. I'm going to get off of the Dr. Pepper and get on to that. But I have to drink that at nighttime, not during the day, because I have to watch. Sometimes it gives me a little bit of a buzz, gotta say. That little bit of alcohol can really knock me on my butt. Where was I at with that? So I'm sure if we were, like, when we're fixing to get a storm or something like that, they'll tell me stuff like that too. Because sometimes I don't even look at the weather. But I've tried to start looking at the weather so that I know what's coming, because I don't want frozen pipes. Let's see here. Only God knows, and some are playing too close to the fire. Exactly. I'm guarding my peace, not sticking my head in the sand. God says, fear not, so I'm going my best. That's right. Same here. I mean, I'm not, even the coyotes, I'm not afraid of them. But I ain't going to let them come in my yard now see, I'm not going to fence in the back right now. Right now I'm only fencing in the front because that's the area that I need to be fenced. I could go to the edge of the property and go all the way around. And one of these days I might do that. But in order to do that, I have to make gates to open and close. And I would have to go up there and open the gate and get whatever there is there from the UPS drivers. They have nowhere to turn around. All that kind of crazy stuff. So I'm going to let them continue to do their stuff until I figure out what to do about gating and stuff like that, and then I might go ahead and finish the whole yard because I worked it out with the post lady, and if I'm upset about her going through every day, I should be worried about the UPS drivers and the FedEx people that slide through there fast as can be too. I should probably put a box up there on the road, but that would mean that they'd have to turn around. So I don't know. Let's see here. Uh, I do want to know, but I don't want to watch and hear it over and over constantly. Yeah. Well, okay, so let me read this one real quick. So excited about your kombucha. As long as it's a 3 pH, it's ready. I can't do alcohol at all. Ah, I'm gonna have to get some test strips. Hey Nancy, um, because I don't have any test strips to see what it is, and I'm gonna write that down. 3 pH for kombucha. Um, um, da 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 da. What was I saying now? I don't remember what I was saying now. I lost my train of thought. Oh well. I have been sneezing like crazy, and I'm not sick. I mean, I have a little bit of drainage every once in a while, and that comes and goes. But I have really been sneezing. But I can remember my mom saying, and it happens to me too, that when you go outside in the sun, it'll make you sneeze. Peat chest strips are my best ferment tool. Order the cheapest ones at Walmart on Walmart's website. Okay, I'll look for Walmart. Thank you, Linda. You're so helpful. Um, hmm. So, getting back to the garden business. I haven't started any seeds inside, and I really need to start some seeds. But I need to be able to get everything out of the greenhouse. First, I want to put the greenhouse out there on the end of the thing, on the outside of it. But that really isn't going to work. I don't know what I'm going to do with. Maybe I'll put it on the outside of the chicken coop, because if I put it on the outside of the garden, that's not going to work at all for me. If I put it on the chicken next to the chicken thingy, I think it'll be better, because then I can get in and out of the garden with the tractor. I'm going to make the garden so that on the ends I can open them up totally, not take the whole fencing down, but take down part of it, and be able to go in there and till the ground and do all my stuff before planting each time, and just leave that stuff up and not worry about it anymore. So we shall see. My daughter would sneeze when she went out in the sun. LOL. It could have just been allergies, I don't know. There's something about the sunlight and something about, um, heat sometimes, um, but, heat or cold. My mom's was cold, mine's heat. When the heat in the car hits me the wrong way, I guess it wiggles in nose hairs or something other. I don't know, but he's been good. I'm so glad. I was so worried when he started screaming at first. I'm like, I might have to go in the bedroom again. So it was really nice. I have to tell y'all. Let's see, what night was it? It was Friday night. After we, okay, so we went when they found out about the coyote and everything. They came over after I told them I was going home. I just had such a bad morning. I came on straight home, and they went to Ace to go and look for that you know what, that I bought. And so then I called them. I said, I'll just meet you up there. Well, Linda had called me and said, I'll be over around 5. Well, she came a little bit early, and they were still here, and we just had a good old time talking and walking around the yard and everything. And Linda came in, and we sat here until really late. I don't remember what time she left. I think it may have been around 9 o'clock. We had a good visit. So I told her, I said, because I asked John and Jen, I said, how's that Mexican restaurant over there in Warrenton? They said, Jen says, we love it. We used to go there 2 or 3 times a week. I'm like, oh, really? So I'm going to go and visit that. And, hopefully it's as good as they say it is, because the ones in Thompson I'm not really pleased with. But I had a really good visit with Linda. I had a heart-to-heart girl talk and got some things off my chest, and I felt so much better just telling her how I was feeling, and with some things that were going on in Florida. And I'm just like, I just feel so much better. Just being able to speak what I want to and not have to worry about, am I going to offend somebody when I say something about somebody? You know what I'm saying? Ugh. It was just really super cool to talk to her. And of course she was telling me too about her visit to her uncles and all these things that she went to in Texas. She had a really good visit. I hope she starts putting some content back up again. Um, I'm gonna try to encourage that. But now I ended up tossing, Linda, that ferment, that but okay, the, what do you call it? The sourdough, it turned a pink color, which I mean a real pink color. And I think that it was I think it was bad. So, and I think what I did, I might have missed a day of feeding it. So I have some that I had for discard. Um, that's in the refrigerator. And I'm thinking about pulling that out and using it to make, to get the starter again start bubbling, because it's a starter. It's just the discard starter. So I think I can get that to bubble up good. And I really want to make some bread. And I want to make crackers and things. And I think it'll be a whole lot healthier than me eating Cheez-Its or something that I buy from the store. I want to make cheese crackers. I've seen several different videos on how to make them with discard, and I'm kind of excited about it. Now, will I use the they put them on paper, what is that called? Parchment paper, I think. I don't know if I want to bake anything on that parchment paper. Kind of sounds gross to me. I have a hard time using silicone. So, I don't know. I got to figure that out. Having a friend you can trust and be real with is priceless. Yep. Well, I've got Wilma and Gina and Deborah even. We still talk on the phone even though she's moved back to Virginia. I have all them that I can talk to, but they're it's just different. And I don't want them to hate this person that I'm having trouble with. So I just keep my mouth shut and try to go day to day. Better to be safe than sorry on a ferment. Yep, for sure, Linda. I've only made two fermented things, sauerkraut and fermented lemonade. That sounds good. I can't do sauerkraut. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I mess up sauerkraut every time I try it. How can you mess it up? Now, I don't know why. I don't know if I'm putting too much garlic in with my honey. But I loved the garlic and honey that I tasted in the HOA. This lady came and did a fermenting class at the HOA, and she fermented honey and garlic, and she fermented carrots, and she fermented uh, beets and cabbage and pickles and what else? I mean, she just had a ton of fermented stuff, and oh my gosh, it was all so good. And I want to ferment. I want to get into fermenting even better, but I'm so afraid of it. My stomach is so, my stomach. And that's another thing. I went to the doctor. I don't know if I've told you guys or not. I went to the doctor. I think I did tell y'all guys Wednesday. Some of y'all was in here Wednesday and some of you weren't. I'll tell you more about it in just a second. Sweet. I'm glad you're going to do that, Nancy. I understand it might have been a little too warm or humid. Yeah. So, I went to the doctor. I have been on pins and needles because I thought my cancer was back. And I was a nervous wreck. And I was trying my best to hide it from Wilma. But when you got somebody as close as we are, when somebody pulls back, you're wondering, okay, what's going on with them? And she will nag the ever living daylights out of me until she gets an answer that she's okay with. Well, I was having a really, really rough day, and I had helped her um, with um, one doing something. Anyways, um, and she said, "Kathy, there's something wrong, and I know it, and you better be telling me right now." Like, there ain't nothing wrong. God's got everything under control. She said, "There's something wrong, and you better fess up now." I mean, she would not let it go. She's like a pit bull. I just shook my head and I said, "Well, Wilma, under the circumstances, I really didn't want to discuss this with you." And then she got mad. She said, "What didn't you want to discuss with me? We are best friends and you cannot go there." Oh, my word. I said, "Well, I believe there's a chance that I might have cancer again, and I don't know what to do. And I feel like it's very important to go to the doctor right now. I feel like God's telling me to get your butt into the doctor and get this taken care of." So she she's like, I said, but the doctor won't give me a, because she knew I was making doctor appointment. I said, "Doctor won't see me until March something other," which now I'm going to see her Thursday. So you guys say a prayer about that. But she said, "Well, I am going to fix that." She said, "If I get you an appointment with Joe, will you go see him?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll go see him." So she made an appointment with her doctor. And I mean, I had to wait 3 days. I think it was 3 days or something like that. It may be more. But it was like no time at all. And I was right in there. And he eased my mind, but he explained so much to me about how I go to the bathroom and what the process is and stuff like that. And I explained all of what I do and how it goes through and all that kind of stuff. And he said, and this may be more, if this is more information than you guys want, I'm sorry, but I have very small stools and they're not really formed very well, which is good for me. And he wants me to stay like that. Um, I have so much radiation damage that I can't, I would never be able to have a large stool. And I'm just like, phew. I thought for sure that I had cancer back again. And I was beside myself, worrying to death. I mean, I was laying in there crying at nighttime because I feel like there's so much more I need to do. And I just got here and I'm just in peace. And I love this place so much. I didn't want to give it up. So it eased my mind tremendously. And don't know how I got off on that. So kombucha is very important to me to get to that. Now, I used to You were saying, Linda, not to let it go more. Is it more than 3 pH? That it should be at 3 pH? Well, I used to let it ferment for 7 days, I think. I'm only going to let it ferment for a couple of days. And this is what I'm trying this time. I put elderberries in one of them to see what that would be like. I put staghorn sumac in another one. And I had some pineapple juice in the refrigerator in the little thingies. So I made some pineapple juice. Man, that should be really, really, really tangy. And um when I pull them out, I think I'll put some honey in them whenever I go to drink them. I think I'll dissolve some honey and put them in there so that it gives me more antibiotics. Hey, Keith, what's up? My cancer is still in remission right now. Every time my stomach hurts, I fear the worst. I pray no one has to go through cancer treatments. Yeah, I don't ever want that again. And I feel so bad for Wilma. You know, the cancer treatments was what was killing her, not the cancer. And she's still on treatments, but it's an oral treatment now instead of a chemotherapy by injection. Let's see, I messed a few up here. That waiting is so hard. Last summer, had the doctor say, we're pretty sure you have cancer, then you have to wait for tests. Yeah. And that's, you know, when my cancer was found, the doctor said, I cannot treat you, Kathy, because I believe you have cancer. We've got to get the right treatment. Let's see about this. And then I had to go for gastrologist and gastrologist. I had to go and have an upper and lower GI, and then go from there. But it was a few days, and he put a rush on it. I mean, he said, "I want her in now." Um, I was already scheduled for an upper and lower GI, but he said he wanted he called them and said, you will do biopsy and you will send them off and get some results for me right away. See, my friend was 45. We just sent something is going on with each other. Keith, that is wonderful. Praying for you will heal completely. And how is Wanda doing? Is she still in remission totally? You want a lower number, 3 or below. Okay. What do I do with my pencil? 3 or below. I'm gonna look them test strips up when I get off of here. When you get kombucha nailed down, add in water kefir for variety. I've never had kefir. I don't even really know what that is. If I had done water kefir first, I probably wouldn't have been motivated to do kombucha. But diversity is my goal. So where do you get your water kefir? I just need to eat more fiber. When I do, I have no problems. Wanda had a bad stroke again in January, but right now she is fine and home. Wow. Sorry to hear that. Y'all have had your struggles, ain't you? I would love to make some kombucha, but I don't know how to make the starter. Well, I I we don't have stores here. It's not like Florida. I could have gone to a store in Florida called Publix. I don't know if y'all got them where you're at, but they have a much better selection of kombucha. And I actually poured it in a glass and saw a a um, SCOBY in the kombucha that I bought at the store. So I could have started it from that, but I didn't. Got I have been getting them from Linda at My Quirky Quarter Acre, and she didn't have one this year, and because I left mine, I don't know how I left mine behind. I left mine in Florida, and they were bad whenever I got to them, but I had ordered from Azure Standard, and they had an actual um starter kit like thing. Oh my goodness, Keith. Glad she's doing good now. Yep. Keith, your family has been through it. Yep. So, hey, Mac. I'm ready to get this party started too. How are you feeling, Mac? And Patty, I don't know if Patty's still on here or not, but I forgot to ask how the babies are doing. I ordered the water kefir grains off Walmart. Okay. Let's see, from Walmart. And I also make milk kefir. Both are little grains that grow in liquid, but the healthy bugs are a bit different. Kathy, I'm praying for a good test result for you. Thank you. I don't know what this regular doctor's going to go through, but the other doctor that I went to, he explained everything. He said, I don't see any signs of cancer. Um, he said what he's seen was radiation damage so badly that I may have to go some other ways later on down the line, but I'm going to fight for keeping myself as good as I am right now. I do as many different live bugs as possible. Cool. Now, doesn't am I need to know, doesn't um um ferments and kombucha and all that kill parasites? Hey Mac, how are you doing? I am really concerned because, you know, there's so many of this is what frustrates me about watching little skits and stuff on. I'll get off watching these little skits and stuff on um, Facebook, and then they'll take me into one of these commercials where they're talking about um, parasites being in you and hurting you and all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, oh Lord, keeps good bacteria in the gut. Yes, I knew it kept good bacteria, but I thought they also helped to eliminate parasites. So I bought a whole bunch of stuff at not a whole bunch of stuff. I bought a few plants and stuff in the little bags at Walmart. I don't know why I do this. I've done it before. They don't ever grow, but I'm praying that I can get them to grow. As soon as I get my beds together, I'm going to start putting them in the beds. So I've gotten them early enough in the season. They should be great. More pictures coming your way. Okay, sweetheart. I appreciate that. And I made a new batch of kombucha. I poured off the stuff that I was making second ferment with, and then I poured more tea and sugar and everything in there. Did the little thingies, and um that SCOBY looked really good. I was concerned because I seen those weird bubbles. I don't know why it made those weird bubble thingies, but it does look really good once I got in there and touched it and everything, and it smelled really delicious. If something that's fermented can smell good, it does to me. Yeah, I agree. Man, those little carrots that I pulled out of the garden before I tilled it was delicious. I got my broccoli planted already, and we had snow flurries today. Oh no. Are you covering it or are you going to leave it like it is? I haven't put any of that in because they keep telling me it's going to get cold again, but they don't realize they don't plant broccoli and stuff like I do. Mike keeps saying, "What are you planting? What are you planting?" Well, there's things that I need to plant now, like brassicas, um, and all that stuff. And I am going to try to do those roll things. I keep seeing these all over the internet where they get a piece of plastic or something, even paper from. I've got feed bags that are paper, and I'm gonna go ahead and roll them up with seeds in them and dirt and see how they do for me. Are any of you guys seen those or want to try those? Going to let going to let it stay uncovered. It's barely above freezing here today. Oh, okay. As far as I know, ferments don't kill parasites, but many make habitat for them difficult. Oh, okay. That's what I was thinking, Patty. Patty, how is your grandbabies? I have not seen much since the baby um was born, and the other one that had the heart surgery. The last I heard, she was doing really great, so was wondering about them. Let's see here. In Alabama, fall broccoli worked better for me. I haven't planned any in Tennessee yet. I appreciate the thumbs up, guys. And so it's getting about that time. Any prayer requests special, you guys? I know, Keith, we're going to be praying for you. He's being so good and quiet. I can't even believe it. I think I might make me I've got some well, I don't have any bread. Oh well, maybe I won't. I'm gonna make me some lunch after this. Gotta figure out what to make. Breathing the mullein did help though. Sweet. Glad to hear that. Nancy, that still hasn't been taken care of, honey? Oh, I'm thinking something else. Okay, I know what you're talking about. But I may not use your name in the prayer, God knows. But how's your identification thing going? You haven't mentioned it in a while. Is that still giving you trouble? They are doing well. We will give more of an update tomorrow night on our live suite. Okay, thank you, Patty. So like I said, I don't really go on Facebook very often, but Saturday morning I went on and got a post. No, it was Friday night because I couldn't sleep. And my girlfriend's daughter put a post that her mother died. And so they're going to have her funeral on Thursday. I hope it's not this Thursday. I got to look at that. I think it's March something. I better look at that again. But the way I took it and looked at it and everything, I believe that it is next week. I wanted to stay here this week because I have the doctor's appointment on Thursday. So pray for your parents, okay? Just add my prayer list in. God knows who they are, okay? So, this little fellow that came in, I have to share this before I pray. This little fellow that came in and was preaching the week before last really hit a nerve with me. And um um thank you, Keith. Um I read my Bible and pray every single morning. But I realized something when he was preaching, that God told him something that I needed, whether he knew it or not. So he preached on every year he wants a new word in his life to focus on by God. He wants God to give him a word to focus on. Spiritual growth. And he can talk like I can too. So I can imagine it's just as hard for him as it is for me. So I have changed the way I do things now because of his sermon. His sermon was on silence. And how he gets into how God gave him the word silence. Just shut up. Just shut up. Silence. That's what we need. Silence. So that God can speak to us. And I was like, bam. I never shut up long enough to hear what God's got to say to me. It's always a one-sided conversation. I talk to him. I love him. He fulfills my dreams. He fulfills my prayers. He fulfills my life and makes me whole, right? But it was a one-sided conversation all the time because I never shut up to hear him. So for the last 2 weeks, when I wake up in the morning, I put God first instead of my phone, and I give him time to tell me something. Now, he's not speaking out loud to me. There isn't an audio thing, but I try to clear my mind and not think about anything. And this is what happened to me. When that dude preached that, I had been going through 3 or 4 days without Facebook. I had Facebook, but I didn't have the Words with Friends that I play with Wilma and all my girlfriends. And I play that religiously. As soon as I wake up in the morning, bam, 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 I'm trying to see who played last night or played when they got up this morning. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't putting God before that. So for the last 2 weeks, I've been silent and listening to God and doing my prayer before I touch my phone. And y'all would not believe how much it has helped me, because Satan has been on his throne trying to get me, trying to pull me, trying to hurt me every which way. And I have to say this before I pray this prayer, because I have to tell you what I told. Please don't start crying, Teresa. This feller comes in. Now, last week his buddy preached, and this week, because we don't have a preacher right now, and this week he came back to preach, and the first thing I seen him, I said, brother, I really appreciate you. I really appreciate what you taught me the Sunday before last. I said, man, You know, I am so busy running my mouth all the time that I never do stop to hear what God says to me. Sorry, I have to look at the cameras when they go off to make sure the coyotes ain't out there. And I said, you wouldn't believe the things that he's been doing in my life because I've been stopping and listening to him. I said, that day that you preached that, I had been going through withdrawals from Facebook. I'm addicted to Facebook. Words with friends. Not necessarily Facebook, but words with friends, right? And he says, you know, that's that's that that's exactly what I'm trying to he said, and I said, I just I I was able to just rearrange and refocus, and it's been so wonderful. And he said, well, Kathy, wait till you hear what I have to tell you in the sermon today. God's working miracles. Now, y'all know what my channel is. You know God works miracles, right? Well, God made a miracle this week with that young man. So this is a little bit of his background. He is a convicted felon, and he was a 5-time convicted felon, and he has changed his life around, and he is serving the Lord in so many ways. He is helping people to recover from drugs and alcohol, and in several ministries, even in the prison, which he should not probably be in the prison, he said. But they are allowing him to go in there because the warden says, you're the kind of man that we need in here to help them, because the people that come in here are preachers who've never been there and can't help them out of what they're in. So, in the midst of this, he's telling us about this, and he says, and one of the couples that we have been working with, he says, have been so faithful and so, I mean, they've turned their life around. They have given their life to God, and they are working hard about it. And the lady is pregnant, and she is 7 months pregnant, and this baby is growing. I mean, they put her in the hospital because she's having so much problem because this baby is growing so fast. The baby was 11 pounds. And because there was so much problems and everything with her physically and everything, they decided to go ahead that the baby should be fine to go ahead and bring it into this world. So they did a C-section. Something in delivery caused problems, and the baby ended up in NICU and was not supposed to make it. They had it on full life support. That baby was held here on earth on full life support. Now, this is so bizarre. He gets a call from the girl, and she asks him to please come and pray with her over her child. So he makes an appointment to go and pray with her over the child. And the child was just in a coma. I mean, like I was. They had me on full life support. I was not supposed to make it. I did not tell him all this. I will next time he comes to the church. I will make sure I go early enough to catch him and tell him about my story. I know God put me in this church for a reason. So anyways, he makes the appointment to go see her at 6 o'clock that night. Didn't work out. He's so concerned about getting there on time and everything. He was going to let his buddy use his truck to go and pick up his girlfriend from work and bring her home. The buddy calls him and says, "You're going to have to go pick her up because I can't come. I cannot pick her up." He's like, "Okay." So he goes and picks her up and drops her off. He's worried to death because he's already late, right? He gets to the hospital. The hospital drags their feet for over an hour. And he's given us times of what's exactly happening. Like he gets there like 7 o'clock, it's 8 o'clock, he gets finally up there, it's like 9:11, and I mean he's just given us these times, and 9:11 stuck with me and one and several of the people in the church. And he's like, 9/11, he didn't think anything about, he wasn't thinking 9/11, you know? Um, and probably that hits me because my birthday's the 12th. But anyways, so he finally his name's not on the list, and she is the father is freaked out. He goes back there and sees the mother, and the mother comes out in a wheelchair to meet him, and she is giving them down the road, and she says, "This man will come and pray for my child right now." So they finally agree to it. He goes back there. He goes by this whole wall of babies in the NICU. And they're all in a wall, on the wall, lined up. And way over on the other side, there's one baby by itself. Because there's been no sign of life in this baby. They roll her up there. I'm trying not to cry, guys. This is so amazing. Now he's reading text back and forth. He's showing us pictures of this baby before, when he first got there. The baby is blue and just not, you know, and and so this white lady comes up and they're talking back and forth, and and then this oriental lady comes up. That's the two nurses that are in there. And the white lady just like shook her head and went off over her desk thing, doing her thing, right? And it's got her back to him. And he's like, you know, he's like, "I don't understand this, you know?" Well, the oriental lady's sitting there listening to them talking and everything. And he, as the oriental lady and the mother is talking, he goes around the baby's thing and puts his little finger in there and holds the hand, puts his finger inside the baby's hand. And the mother gets up out of the chair, goes over to the other side of the incubator, and puts her little finger in his hand, and they begin to start praying for this baby. When they're done praying, they both tried to let go of that baby. And as soon as their hands left that baby, the baby reached up and grabbed their fingers. And the nurse was like, "Did he just grab you?" And they're like, "Yeah." That's the first sign of life that baby had. Now, this is right after he preached that first sermon with us, right afterwards, right? And then the baby kept graduating every single day. And a week later, that baby is at home with his mama and daddy and his two other siblings. And I hope and pray I told the story exactly how I should have told it, because that's what I gleaned from what he preached about. I was just like I was just like, God performs miracles every day and nobody even notices them most of the time. Now, the doctors, okay, this is something else about this story too. He said the doctors do not even know why this baby is so large, how it's growing so fast, what is causing it to grow so fast. It has no signs of any kind of illness. Is that weird or what? So the Lord's working in the parents and the children. So, uh, what have I missed? You guys been talking and I haven't been watching because I was afraid I was going to get off on and not tell that story the way it should have been told. Uh, let's see here. I don't even know how much I've missed. Uh, my goodness. What a blessing that he is to the other people. Yep. Wow, 11 pounds. My brother was 10 pounds, and Mama said it was rough. Yes, I have heard there's evidence Jesus is actually born in 9/11. God, amen, hallelujah, hallelujah. God is still doing things no matter what it looks like. God is giving us more time on earth. Amen. True, true, true. Thank you for sharing this testimony. Well, you're welcome. So I'm going to go ahead and pray. It dawned on me, I haven't told you guys the most important thing that happened this week. So, dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this time with my friends. Thank you that we can share one another your word, your truths, and your miracles. Thank you that we can be friends and share the way we do things in gardening and homesteading and all the little things. And Lord, please don't let Chester be barking at a coyote. Dear Heavenly Father, I pray that you lift up Keith and keep him free from cancer. Keep his stomach free from giving him any troubles at all, Lord. And um and please don't let Wanda have any issues from this last stroke. Let her come back to whole abilities again, Lord. I don't know how severe it was. He just mentioned a stroke, Lord. And I appreciate all that you do for them. I lift up Christy. I know I've been praying for her breathing issues and everything, and I pray, Lord, that you clear it completely up. Thank you that the Mullen is helping her, Lord, and just make her be able to stay warm and breathe easy, Lord. And I lift up Patty's parents, Lord. I don't know what's going on at the moment, but you know, Lord, what they need. So I pray that you lift them up and strengthen them and give them whatever they need, Lord. Also, Linda's prayer request, you know what it is, Lord. Sometimes we can't always share. I know there's a lot of people on here that can't share things, including myself, that wouldn't be proper to share on public. So I pray, Lord, that you take care of those needs and those prayers, and you know what they are. Lord, teach me how to be a better Christian and strengthen my walk with you, Lord. In your precious sweet name, amen. So, yep, that's true. And you know, David had a lot of struggles himself. So, you know, the devil's going to constantly going to tempt Christians. And we just need to stay as strong as we can and try not to be tempted. I really, really am enjoying this this Bible study that Teresa and I've been doing. It's just, I don't know. It's really come at a time when I really needed it. So, anyways, I hope you guys have a blessed week, and I will do my best to be on there, Patty. Almost set well, it's already set, I believe. I'm gonna set the timer so that I can go on. And yes, we are learning a lot. Um, I'm sorry, Nancy. I didn't have you written down here, but you know, Lord, what Nancy's prayers are too. And you know, Lord, that the people that we love need to make you first in their lives and not let Satan bother us, Lord. In your precious name, amen. So, sorry, I don't know why I didn't write that down properly. But anyways, guys, I'm going to get off here. I've got to get out there and get those posts in the ground that I'm doing for my garden and get that fence up as soon as possible. I don't know when I'm going to get the fence up. But anyways, y'all take care. And I'll catch you Wednesday night or over at Mac and Patty's on Tuesday. Y'all have a blessed weekend. Bye-bye.